we've got... Bruh. I really do love that. It's just too good. With a John Bart, a Missouri, Jay Diding in the Missouri, the Knyaz, the Suvorov, at least I can say Suvorov, and the GK. So I think they're actually pulling pretty much the same thing we saw before. I don't think anything was changed. That's probably why they were just ready and raring to go right off the bat. Over here on Sparkle Princess's side, we've got the Conqueror, which we did see ate a lot of damage from secondaries. The Mikasa, the Sauve Soyez, which from the previous cast we did get to see, and it was told to be a bit of a flamethrower. Then the GK. That's going to leave one of the four with Turtleback, while as over here we've got two between the GK and the John Bart. So if it comes down to the throwdown, Turtleback is definitely something to have in your back pocket. See, Suvorov pulling forward, kind of looking at A, but probably looking at the central pass. Mikasa moving up, might actually be looking to hug the wall and do something for a D cap. John Bart coming down to D for bruh. Missouri looking to come center. That could be an interesting play. If the Missouri is able to get in a position in the center, able to pop radar and really tell him what to see, what to expect, that could be a pretty kicking use of that little radar consumable. And the GK not looking at Alpha, as he does look like he's going at the center cap. So right now it looks like bruh is checking out, eyeing that little center spot with 3 ships, while the John Bart can probably find a nice little island spot, dig in, and have a whole bunch of forward firing arcs over at D. Sparkle Princesses got the Kurfürst heading over to join with the group. Nobody really looking at that center aisle. Sauve Soyez, the Conqueror, GK all kind of looking at D, just heading there pretty slow. Two Brothers is a big map, as it's often used around tier 8. So a fair amount of setup time. We're already 2 minutes into the game, and they haven't seen each other just yet. This one really has the possibility to surprise somebody. Being able to take sections of the map in forces that you just wouldn't know that are coming. John Bart pushes into D. That's going to trigger off the alarm. Mikasa, the Sauve, the Conqueror, all of them going to know that something is there. And the John Bart, full YOLO into this. Sees the Sauve, takes a shot. Conqueror shells coming in. Suddenly knows, oh, there's 2 of them. Probably doesn't see the Mikasa and slams on the brake. That's going to be a whole lot of fuck this shit, I'm out. And I'm fully expecting a lot of reverse to be happening here. He could try to brave the turn, might actually work well for him, but frankly at this point, if all he can do is reverse, that's not going to be a bad thing. If he can kind of hold this flank, keep it contained, let his friendos over here sneak on down the center, as long as he doesn't die in the next 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 minutes, that's only about 8 salvos, right? If he's able to hold out for just a while, there's going to be some crossfire coming right out of that channel. And that might result in some pretty serious dunk. The 4th inning ankle sprain. Here's the Missouri. Catches the side, finds a GK, fully broadside, shells in, thumpity thump. That's going to be almost 20,000. Missouri moving the angle in, Kurfürst and the Suvorov still lagging. Suvorov obviously not going to be the highlight of the channel experience, but the question is, now that the Missouri has shown himself, he's pulling attention off of the John Bart. No longer the sole focus, the Missouri is actually starting to take all kinds of friends fire from this Kurfürst, or maybe that's just a lot of secondary and I'm getting confused, but nonetheless, the Missouri looks to be melting faster than the Wicked Witch of the West. Kurfürst of Houdini is going to be rounding this corner and trying to Broforce 5 for the Missouri. Really going to have to take some kind of attention to help this little guy. And I think the Suvorov is just going to kind of cower behind a rock. Or maybe do the self-sacrifice play, moving up with the Missouri and trying to absorb about 38,000 health worth of oof. And maybe shore up the Missouri's weakness. Jean Bart continuing to take shells. Kurfürst able to trade with some secondaries as both of them just kind of tickle fight each other. Shells come out. Meh, don't do shit. Shells come out. Well, those ones connected. That's going to be about 20k. Kurfürst of Get Sniped is looking worse for wear. John Bart about half. Missouri about half. Kurfürst still doing okay, but Get Sniped actually looking pretty beat up. 25,000 and burning. Pretty soon, Bruh's going to be stepping on the C cap. That's going to cause a point imbalance. But right now, we're looking for the high pressure, high intensity, who the fuck dies play. And I think at this point, Sparkles is staring at this John Bart, and they're getting hungry. That Kurfürst can't sit back there and wait until those guys clear the corner and clock them. Sov-Suyez might win the trade ultimately, 62 versus 33. But it does actually look like the Kurfürst was not able to make the turn, so he's going to be committed to this. Shells coming through, big hits into the side, few more, clinkety clink down to 13. Down to 12. And trying to back up, see if maybe he can get some trees to kind of help him out here. He's popping the heel as the Kurfürst rounding the corner, but 17 is looking dangerously low. While the John Bart at 23, Sov-Suyez still kind of doing the slap fight gig. Nobody else is able to assist the Jean Bart with this Sov-Suyez. As long as the trades continue to be favorable, and soon the Mikasa will be helping out with D. Nope, not for very long. Shells, somebody spotted him, so he's going to start taking damage. Real question is this GK going to be able to make the turn and get in here to deal with Get Sniped? 5-0 first. Chucking some pretty nasty HE shells. They go over the bow of the Kurfürst. Suvorov trying to take on his tier 10 enemy, and the John Bart is able to get in on the Kurfürst. That's going to take that out. Kurfürst had to move, but he had to move into a crossfire. Now we've got a John Bart with only 14,000 health, a GK with 23, a Missouri who's recovered a fair bit. Oh, whap. That's going to be that's pretty nasty. That Mikasa just got touched. I think the Mikasa is not long for the world. Secondary is going to trizzle him down. That's going to leave a Jean Bart and a Kurfürst with a Sov in the middle. But that Sov has 35,000 health. Does the Jean Bart play spin the bottle ship? Sure enough, they're spinning. And clink. Down they both go. That's going to be a Kurfürst and a Missouri looking at a Suvorov. Bro has the cap advantage. Bro's ticking up the points. The question is, are they going to be able to kill the Conqueror? Because this is a Conqueror. Conqueror has 3 heals and they're huge. That heal might have been a little preemptive, but at the same time, the faster it gets on cooldown, the faster the next one comes out. If the Suvorov is able to run at this point, then Suvorov might be able to live. But if it comes down to a Conqueror versus a Missouri, unless that Missouri is going to take some pretty nasty Citadel hits off of the Conqueror's HE is just going to be able to absolutely outtrade the Missouri pound for pound in terms of longevity. Are those HE shells? I don't know, they kind of looked AP-ish to me. Clankety clank, nothing happening there. Missouri not able to make the connection. Suvorov already starting to bail, looking for the A-cap, going for the long-term win, and if the Conqueror isn't able to chase out the Suvorov after potentially dealing with the Missouri, only 6 minutes left. Unless the Conqueror is able to get some moves on, the Missouri might play spin the bottle ship, in which case this Conqueror is not going to be not going to come out the winner. Big hit, big hit. That's going to be a pretty tasty Citadel, taking him down to 26. Pretty soon this heal's going to have to come into play. Don't know how much longer. Probably about, nope, just about now. It's going to go ahead and start printing about 4,000 health a second. Able to hit the Missouri, going full speed ahead, getting the hell out of the way of the Ram. And that's also not only going to help him to try to kite out the Missouri, but send him in the direction of the Suvorov. If the Conqueror is able to outrun the Missouri and can somehow outtrade him with HE into a nose and somehow run down the Suvorov, I don't know, might happen. Do we get AP maybe popping in this front area? Because those short fuses, as long as those fuses can, as long as he can trigger them, nah, he's not even messing with that shit. He's just HE right into the superstructure. Missouri is getting frustrated, wanting to make out with the Conqueror, and the Conqueror just says no. Kind of like a cat that puts its paw on your face. He's having none of it. Conqueror's continuing to be able to drag this out. Those massive citadels. Oh, and the Suvorov just gave his position away. I don't know if he was spotted, but he's certainly spotted now. Conqueror knows where he is, and that's going to be a win condition. Conqueror not only has to kill the Missouri here, but has to kill the Suvorov. And this huge-ass turn pulling him away from the Missouri is pulling him away from the other ship that he has to kill. Can't ignore the Missouri, though. Guns have to be focused on this. Wants to get the front guns in. Big hits into the Missouri, and another heal comes off. Not much to heal, though, because of that mean-ass citadel that the Missouri was able to get into the Conqueror earlier. Conqueror looking to rotate guns. He's going to have to move in this direction. He cannot ignore the Suvorov and take the win. It just can't happen. But at this point, man, there's just not that much to it. AP shells into the superstructure. I don't think that was the play. We look, we see the superstructure's pretty chewed up. Maybe you could go into the bow, but maybe that bow is saturated? Bow is saturated. But so's the superstructure. Gotta come with something. HE is absolutely gonna rip through this bow. Oh, 1400. He's slowing down now. Oh, the Conqueror's playing with fire here. He's slowing down to get these front guns in, but he's going to let the Missouri get closer. Missouri takes a shot, looking for the kiss. Make me a prince, please. Not going to happen. And that's going to be the bad touch that's able to send bruh up to the second point.